Okay, so we go from movies now to a possible role later on. And I think so. There has been an actor that has voiced interest in actually um, reprising his role. And I found it fascinating. And that was Daniel Glover. Daniel Glover, okay, I'm sorry, not Daniel, Donald Glover. Let me correct myself there. It's Donald Glover. Donald Glover has um, basically come out and said that he wouldn't mind playing Lando Calrissian again. Now, of course, he played a small part in Solo, so I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I think it might be interesting, but I don't know if it's really what the fans would want. This is just a mock. By the way, this has not been confirmed or anything. I want to clarify that out. I don't want people to think, "Oh my God, he's coming back." No, this is just a mock photo. So, but it's one of those things where I think it might be interesting, but I don't know if it would be for me. Okay, um, so here this comes from Variety, and Donald Glover says he's been talking to Lucasfilms, okay, about Lando return. He says, "quote I would love to play him again." Donald Glover is eyeing a return to a galaxy far, far away. During a video interview with GQ magazine, the actor confirmed that he is currently talking to Lucasfilms about reprising the role of Lando Calrissian in a future Star Wars project. What that project is would remains to be seen and is under wraps. As Glover said, "We're talking about it. That's as much as I can say without Kathleen Kennedy hunting me down." Lando is charm incarnate, Glover said. He's kind of a maverick, which I don't think there's a lot more of. It's hard to be a smooth talker nowadays. Where's the line? That's also where the danger is. How close can you get without tripping over it? Glover continued, "I would love to play Lando again. It's a fun time being him. It just has to be the right way to do it. Time is precious. The past couple of years, this pandemic shit, it's really had people experience time. People realize that their time is valuable. You only get so much. I'm not interested in doing anything that's going to be a waste of my time or just a paycheck. I'd rather, I'd much rather spend time with my people that I enjoy. It has to be the right thing, and I think it could be. Lando is definitely something I'd like to hang out with." Glover's Lando debuted in Ron Howard's 2018 Star Wars prequel movie Solo, as I was making mention earlier. The film was supposed to launch a whole new sector of storytelling for Star Wars as it debuted its young itineraries of Han Solo and Lando. None of the actors have popped up in the Star Wars franchise again as Solo bombed at the box office with just $392 million worldwide, barely making a profit for Disney. Speaking to NEM at the end of last year, Howard said that any talks of a Solo sequel are coming only from fans and not Lucasfilm itself. In other words, Solo 2 is still dead. The only discussion I'm aware of about a sequel from Solo is coming from the fans at this point, Howard said. I don't think it's Lucasfilm priority, as I understand it. Howard added, "Now there are some great characters launched, and that folks from Lucasfilms love the fans, and really do listen to them. I would never say never, but I'm not aware of any concrete plans right now to extend the story or deal with that particular set of characters. If Glover is talking, if Glover is talking with Lucasfilms about returning as Lando, then there's probably not going to then it's probably not going to be in a solo project." So basically, here's the thing. Okay, I think that um, the fact is this, and I've seen Solo. Okay, um, $392 million barely. I mean, Disney is only wanting to do things right now that is going to be lucrative. Okay. And with all of these Star Wars projects they have going, okay, whether it is, Andor, whether it is The Mandalorian, we have Osaka coming, we have, you know, um, Bad Batch, we have other things. I don't know if they really want to take a roll of the dice with this. The first one was okay at best. I didn't really, to me, okay, the thing about Solo was this: it didn't need to be made. Sometimes there are more, it's more mysterious to have a character's origins unknown. So, for example, when we meet him in Star Wars in episode 4, we don't need to know where he came from. Even though there's a story to be told, I don't need to know that. I just need to know he was a smuggler. I just need to know that he has the Millennium Falcon. I need to know that, his co pilot or his friend is Chewie. That's it. When you start to dive into stories, it can get a little dicey. And I think that they were trying to, it was too much of a reach for them. Um, and the same thing goes with Lando. I don't need to know exactly where he came from or what he's doing or how he got the name Lando, frankly. Um, I mean, we saw how he lost the Millennium Falcon to Han at the end of the movie, but it's like, oh, we see him do the parsecs run. I don't, okay. So I think that, and he was right about one thing, saying anything he's not, they're not, he is not aware, or I think it was Ron Howard that said, I'm not aware of any um, projects, you know, there's some, but I'm not aware of any concrete plans right now to extend the story or deal with that particular set of characters because it bombed. It bombed. And I say only, but when you look at the production value, okay, it made $392 million. Now, I don't have the budget in front of me, but what I do know is this. Let's say it was $120 million budget. And I don't know, I'm being generous. It has to make at least 3 times its money in order to break a profit. So it would have to make at least $360 million just to break even. Um, so whatever the budget is, it didn't even crack $400 million. So they don't even want to touch that. And don't forget too, okay, and this is something else to um, really keep in mind. Okay, you just came off, you had Rise of Skywalker. So at the same time, you had The Last Jedi, okay, and Rise of Skywalker was yet to be made or was in production post, I think. And there were a lot of people were turned off from The Last Jedi. A lot of people. And usually there was that 2-year window in between movies. And we didn't have it this time. I mean, if you look at, Force Awakens was in 2015. You had The Last Jedi in 2017, and Rise of Skywalker came out in 2019. Okay. When you try to mix something in, like a Solo, people get like, huh? What? So, look, I agree with this. They shouldn't pursue it. Kathleen Kennedy, I think, has her sights set on other things. And I also believe that it would be very detrimental. Now, if they wanted to make this as a Disney, let's go back to this graphic here because if they wanted to make this as a Disney Plus show, I could see them doing that because your production value is not that much. Okay. You make it as long as The Mandalorian, for example, which is 8 episodes, and people, they'll eat it up. It's not one of those things you could make into a feature film. And I hope they learn their lesson with Solo. So I think that if they are in talks, I think it's. And look, the other thing too, I got to bring this up too. Okay, We have Star Wars Celebration right around the corner. Okay? So that is going to be happening at the end of this month, or even right now. Okay? I wouldn't be shocked. Maybe, outside chance, don't know anything, maybe they announce some sort of Lando series. Maybe, maybe not. Anyways, guys, what do you think? Would you like to see a Lando Calrissian feature film? Would you like to see Donald Glover back as Lando Calrissian? Or do you think it should go to a Disney? Do you think it should go to Disney Plus as a smaller series? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll get back to everybody.